We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Fight them until we can't.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome into United Resistance. I know it's probably some of you are surprised that the show is actually live.
Wait a minute, we're live?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, if I don't take some distraction time, I'm going to be in my own head right now, and that's not a good place for me to be. If I'm, just being completely honest with everything that's going on, and shout out to this community, all of our audience, all of my friends. I can't say enough for just the amount of people reaching out and just being there to listen and everything else. The situation I'm going through is incredibly tough. There is no manual for this. I knew in the back of my mind with the mom's advancing health issues, the decline that I personally saw, I knew that this was coming sooner than later. I just did not expect it to be this week. So for all of you that have been there the past 48 hours, I can't thank you enough. You are indeed kind and caring and genuine true blue friends. And you are my extended family. And I love you. So that said, I gotta rant about what's happening today. And I know that I didn't post an update on Twitter. And I'm gonna tell you guys, and I know there's not a lot of people, you're not gonna catch a lot of channels where people put their personal info out there, put their personal story out there. But I'm gonna tell you, because you guys care about Mama Heretic, you guys know what's going on. So here's what happened today. So this morning I go out and I visited and sat with Mom for good 2-3 hours. I leave and I'm heading out to get some late food, something to eat around noon. And I get a call from this doctor, Dr. Bezak. He tells me now that my mom's not producing urine at almost at all, It's at a very low rate, and they're worried about kidney function, so he wants to start dialysis. And I've already indulged them to where they wanted to do the Hail Mary surgery, try to help, which they did, and I supported that. But at this point, with mom having the surgery she had, now having her colon taken out, it just she's got to already function with a colostomy bag if we were to move forward, and then you're talking about adding an issue where she's going to have to go to dialysis 3 to 4 days a week. What kind of quality of life are we having here? I mean, what kind of future does she really have? The dialysis is hard on a body. Somebody that 80 years old, it's not fair. It's not fair. And frankly, one of the things that you don't see behind the scenes, folks, okay, the past couple of years, as mom's been on the decline, all the scares that we've had, all the times that she's fallen, the fact that she can hardly walk, one thing after the other, it seems. Okay. It's just at the point now where she told me one day when she was, up in her room, which she's always been up there because she can't really move about the house much, and she can't drive, she can't cook, she can't do anything. She said, I mean, it's terrible. I feel like a prisoner. Well, if I went along with this, how do you think she's going to feel now? So I went ahead and I made the decision. I told them, respectfully, please, just no more surgeries, no dialysis. I just want to have this transferred to palliative care of some sort. And please let God intervene and do what God's going to do. Because I have had the feeling since the first time they called me the other morning at 7 a.m. and said, come in here and say your last goodbyes. You might go at any time. Ever since then, I have felt in my gut, and not to get uber religious on you folks, but yes, we are Catholic. My mom and I, his family has always been Catholic. And I felt, I can't shake the feeling that God is calling her. It's this time. It is this time. So, taking all that into consideration, I told them to move on and let's try to make her comfortable. I've got to meet with the ICU people tomorrow to cross the T's, dot the I's, and make it official. But that is the way that we're going to proceed. So I just wanted everyone to understand where we're at. That's what's happening. And yes, within probably less than 24 hours, if that, my mom is going to move on. And she's going to go and be with my dad again. And this has been as emotional as you would think. I've done a lot of crying. I've done a lot of soul searching. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm trying to make the best decisions possible. I've sat here and replayed every single decision in my mind as I'm making them. This is not easy, but I'm doing the best I can. And I'm just so thankful for the support that you guys have shown and that extra strength, the prayers, the good vibes, everything that you've been sending is a godsend because I need every single bit of it right now. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I had to rant about that because, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. And there may be some people out there that disagree if they were in my shoes in that situation. but trust me, I really feel I'm doing the right thing. So that said, let me welcome the guys on the panel.
Hey, Drew, real quick. I'm so thankful that you're thanking us from the bottom of your heart, not the bottom of your pants. There, I had to get that out of the way.
Thanks, Tommy.
Good reason.
And I appreciate the levity, dude. We need it, but I want to introduce everyone on the panel. Of course, I want a big shout out to Zach, Brightest Dave, who's usually on the panel. He's out there modding. And Brightest Dave, thank you, Zach. You didn't have to send that tip, but thank you so much. I don't know what to say.
Dude, all he did, Drew, is Brightest Dave, thank you for sending a tip that is comparable to Drew's. We appreciate it.
So Zach, thank you. So thank you, man. Thank you. It's all I just don't know what to say. Thank you so much. But yeah, and happy birthday, by the way, sir. It's your birthday and you're sending me money.
Happy birthday, Bradis.
Yeah, so happy birthday.
Wait a minute. If you're going to do that, you got to do it properly, Drew. Happy birthday, Brightest. So say we all.
Yeah, that's right. So say we all.
Say we all.
So say we all.
But to welcome on in the panel, of course, we got Brahma Bull here. We've got the man, myth, the legend, Tommy. We've got the heavyweight champion of kicking ass, and that is ETEP. And of course, we've got Free Speech Gaming.
Welcome, everybody.
And I've got a couple of invites out to guests. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. It's completely understandable. The show is a little sideways today, folks, and I apologize about that. There wasn't much show prep. So,
Drew, if it's sideways, just stop a moment, readjust, and it'll be all right.
Well, there wasn't any show prep, and so I just kind of put it together on the fly. But again, the show had to go on as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just thankful that everybody's here and supporting. So let me say what's up to our awesome chat. There's a lot of people that have been in here. Of course, we got Gap Stargate. We got I think it's Dragon Master 360. He changes his handle every single week, seems like. So he's going by Dr. Dragon now. So thanks, Dr. Dragon. We've got of course Time Prophet's in the house. Great to see you, Time Prophet. Appreciate you, bro. Keely Chow is in the house. Thank you, sir, for being here. Jackie Blue's in the house. Hail to Jackie. Of course, the aforementioned awesome Brightest Day doing modding. And, of course, we have Rita, who is wonderful supporter, both her and Dwayne Erickson. So they support not only my channel, but Wes and a number of other channels in this community. And Rita is a dear, dear, dear friend. And Rita, I'm sorry I didn't call you with everything that's been going on. I will reach out and, we'll talk about what's happening when I can get a chance. It's just been incredibly hectic. Of course, we also have, let's see, Wookiee Supremacy's in the house. So great to see you, Wook. Thank you for being here. Parrot Head, of course, is in the house. Thank you, Parrot Head, for being here as well. Philip Gaming. Great to see you, bro. I hope that everything's going awesome with you. And we've got Cat Killer Drunk 3PO, and appreciate your prayers. Thanks, Cat. You're really awesome, man. Good people. Also, Tina Bojan. Tina, thank you for being here. The gal from Chicago, always repping that Chicago. Love it. Of course, lovely Maria on Unlocking Lore, the Geeky Crochet. I love Maria and love After the Weekend. Shout out to both her and R to the Icky and Mrs. R to the Icky. I love you guys. And Maria, thank you so much. I know that you've been praying rosary for us and everything, and I can't tell you how much that means. Oh, wow. Keck 44 is in the house. Great to see Keck. And we've got Tony, Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Based. He's in the house. Always so supportive, man. Tony's awesome. And Phil TMNT's in the house. Great dude. Love Phil. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. Dreaming Tabitha from Inside the Booth. She's here. And she's been very supportive, been sending a lot of prayers. And so has Dan, our co-host from Inside the Booth. And thank you so much. Tabitha, you're a wonderful friend. Jamie Castile, welcome. Great to see you here. Appreciate the prayers. And of course, Janet from Another Planet. She has been a rock for me during this whole ordeal and through so many things behind the scenes. Janet has been there at every turn to pick me up even when I fall down. So thank you so much, Janet. TurboGrafx Tobat. Agreed. God is great. And yeah, one day, we'll all be reunited. And thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I think we've got everybody covered. We got my boy Godzillionaire. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Mehdi, my buddy from Spaces, he never misses a show now. Mehdi is always here every Tuesday, and thank you for being here and supporting me, buddy. Yeah, I've been so overwhelmed with the absolute outpouring of support. Again, thank you. I can't say enough about just the wonderful souls out there, the wonderful people that I call, my friends. You're just all amazing. And Trina, thank you for being here. Trina, like keeping the trolls away and modding and just doing awesome. She always looks out for me as well. So, all right. Well, we've got a lot going on in the world. It's not just in my personal world. There's a lot going on in the world. Obviously, there's been I've done the best I could to kind of pay attention while things are happening. Obviously, the latest tweet I put out, I retweeted Disclosed.tv last night, and I want to go ahead and pull up this clip and let you guys kind of react to this, because this is very interesting, because what this woman's talking about is they're basically saying, hey, there's going to be cyber attacks from Russia. Yeah, let's take a look at this. If the sound would play.
Partners to take immediate action to shore up their defenses against potential cyber attacks. We've previously warned about the potential for Russia to conduct cyber attacks against the United States. including as a response to the unprecedented economic costs that the US and allies and partners impose in response to Russia's further invasion of Ukraine. Today, we are reiterating those warnings, and we're doing so based on evolving threat intelligence that the Russian government is exploring options for potential cyber attacks on critical infrastructure in the United States.
All right, I have a huge problem with this right off the rip. Does anybody believe that's genuine?
That's rehearsed as hell.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's two things about it. A, are the targets going to be the 17 things that Biden said are off limits, or is it going to be the rest of the infrastructure that he said, oh, go ahead and do whatever you want with? And B, if we know there's attacks coming, then we have intelligence on it if they're coming, and why aren't we doing anything to not have these attacks? And everything they say is just stupid. None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, and Maddie brings up a great point right here. Remember Biden, it's just what you said. Remember Biden gave out the list of important cyber infrastructure Russia was told not to attack 3 months ago. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Here's the list of targets.
Yeah.
Right.
And time proper, yeah, you're right. I mean, the Russians do have good hackers, of course.
Yep.
But here's the thing, okay? And you guys know this, and I want you folks out in the audience to think about play 4D chess in your mind for a minute. All right, what's the biggest thing that they can attack? The grid. Okay, who would attack the grid? Well, I'll tell you what. The biggest thing would be a CIA false flag. That goes back to the talk we had about Directive 51. Because guess what? If the grid goes down, that's a big enough catastrophe for them to say, well, hey, maybe we should invoke Directive 51. We got to have continuity of government.
Yep.
And it'll be so easy. They can blame it on the Russians.
You know who's been talking about continuity of government since the mid-2000s? Who's no longer allowed on this platform?
Is this true,
Alex?
guys?
Mm-hmm.
Texas is...
Turn on the freaking frogs game.
Texas is independent of the grid.
Texas is, but they also had trouble just with cold last year. I mean,
Yeah.
They have their own grid, but at the same time, they are not completely independent. But if there was a cyber attack, the national grid could go down, and the Texas grid would probably. I mean, it's separate, but the way it would work, I think the overflow from the other states being drained would end up taking Texas down too, if we're being honest.
Well, I kind of wonder, you're talking about a lot of this stuff is being set up, and I wonder if they're doing it on purpose because there's so many people that don't want to get on board with this philosophy that they're pushing with their New World Order, which, by the way, if you're even thinking about supporting the New World Order, don't. Support the Pig World Order instead, because we need biscuits, we need treats, we need stuff for the pigs. Do that instead. But I mean, honestly, I wonder if it's being done on purpose for all those people who are not getting on board. Because if they take down the infrastructure and they start messing with, people's ability to get on the internet and to access information, do you think that will scare the shit out of the people that are holdouts enough to make them get on board with whatever the government is saying?
Yeah, it's interesting. I like Time Prophet's comment here. They don't need to attack the grid in Britain. We have all those damn wind farms. We've got enough of them in the States too.
That's what happened in Texas. They kind of capitulated to all of the Austin voters, and that's why they had like 20% of their grid was based off of wind, and they didn't have it winterized. So as soon as that happened,
oh yeah, I remember that, dude. You saw that shit. You could see the frozen over like windmills. It's like seriously, and yes, Cat Killer Drunk 3PO, you're 100% right. They are doing it on purpose. This is all done with the purpose. It's all engineered. All of this.
Yep.
And you really, as I said before, folks, you have to play 4D chess and really understand who's actually making the moves. I mean, you've got Now Biden comes out, makes the New World Order statement. We saw that. He did it right on national television.
Quiet part out loud.
You've seen Australia make the New World Order statement. You've seen, so many major countries, some official is making a statement saying, we need to do this in the name of the New World Order.
You know what, Drew? I think using the terminology for chess for what they're doing is a bit off. Really, if you look at what they're doing right now, they're trying to flip everybody. So wouldn't you say that they're playing Othello?
Yeah. I mean, you could.
I thought you were going with Guess Who.
Yeah.
Or the way it's being so obvious, checkers.
Yeah.
You can look at it. You can look at it that way too, Zach. It's hard to know with them, because they're rather a wild card, because on one hand, and I look at it like this, the ties, the former ties, if you will, to the World Economic Forum, supposedly they've cut ties with good old Vladdy, but I still can't help but feel like they could be just a window dressing. So this may be an entirely by both sides be at the behest of the World Economic Forum, the UN, NATO, the whole nine yards.
And don't forget, you can't trust China with that stuff either, because who was the first country that went for that fully digital economy? They did.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying though is this might be a full. I mean, and I think we're starting to get the vibe that this is a completely engineered theater war. Like, whereas you see all these things that they're trying every week to come out with a new hero from the front lines, right? It was the Snake Island people. It was the Ghost of Kiev. It was the model chick with the rifle, that was so an airsoft rifle. But.
It was Sean Penn on the ground getting the scoop live in the middle of the war zone.
Yeah, Sean Penn. Like anybody would have, complained if he got hit with a stray cruise missile or something.
You know what? Every time I think about Sean Penn, all I can think about him is crying like a bitch when they threw him behind bars. That's all I can think of when I see Sean Penn.
He was hanging out with El Chapo.
Yeah. Brightest day, I can tell you that, Putin is going to be a scapegoat for all this, no matter what. If Russia is indeed, just on their own, and looking to expose this shit, okay, they're going to be used as a scapegoat, and they're going to double and triple and quadruple down on Russia bad, which, we've already seen the rampant virtue signaling by the corporations. Oh, we can't have Russian McDonald's, Russia bad. It's getting absolutely ridiculous.
He's taking a hell of a hit if that's the case, because his legacy is completely destroyed. He's singled out right now from everybody.
Yep.
They're even having to tell college students in Russia that they won a raffle to get them to go to some thing, and then it turns out that it's supposed to be a pro Russia war, rally, and they all just left. So
yeah. Mehdi says China is watching its two top competitors and threats fighting each other. Guess who wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Taiwan.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Brightest Day. I think Zelensky is an actor, but I think he's bought and paid for by the Democrats, because he's got a lot of the exact same talking points with the whole New World Order shit.
Yep.
He's only running a country, under a party that we instated back in 2014.
Well, you do understand, Tommy. He is 100% World Economic Forum Young Global Leaders program. He's a graduate of that program. So.
Oh yeah, and he's doing the same thing that the Democrats would like to do here. He's establishing a dictatorship over there. He just shut down the freaking their media and all their press too.
Any opposition parties, the whole 9 yards. And the sad thing is, like, he's being hailed as some type of hero by all the lemmings, all the Twitter lemmings, all the people that are like, oh, he's a celebrity, blah blah blah, he's a hero.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, he's now the new Fauci,
Yeah.
like the
What-
darling face of everything.
But Fauci's not ready to go away. Did you see his Weasley ass come up and make that sound? No, we're not done yet. It could be another variant. Oh God. He just I saw an interview with him before I left. I'm watching that go, and I think it was from last week. I'm like, just shut up, Fauci. Shut the
I'm not irrelevant yet.
Yeah, that's it. I see him just desperately clinging to relevancy, like when and I always go back to like 2014 in Ebola, because we had the Ebola scare back then, and Tom Frieden was the head of the CDC, and Tom Frieden gradually like knew when his time was done in the spotlight. He faded off, he went back, he did his TED Talks, he made his money, and he just disappeared. And this dude's like, I'm just like sitting back, you know, I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't really looked, but Fauci is like him, but with a huge, massive ego, you know, that, and obviously a lot of overseas ties and money and stuff like that. So yeah, Fauci doesn't want to let go of this, and that's all we need is you know, him going back up front and scaring everybody, and then here comes a cyber attack, you know, and it's another perfect storm is where I see, you know, that kind of aligning, I guess.
Well,
Kyle
I
Dunnigan
think
did
like,
it great on the last Fresh Prez thing that he did. He had Fauci come in.
Get out of here, Fauci.
Biden's like, get out of here. Come on, man. We already did that. We did the BLM, then we did the vaccines, and now we're doing the crane. What are you doing?
Yeah, we got some. God, the chat is on fire. They are kicking ass right now. Albert Zoki says, don't know if we have a choice. Rumor has it Blackface Trudeau has allied the NDP party to hold on to power until 2025. FML as Canadian. And Albert, you're right. I mean, you know, I've heard the same thing. I heard the same thing.
He only needs 30% of the vote.
Yeah,
it's not that hard to hang on to.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to be, you know, essentially in power there for the foreseeable future. I don't know how you guys are going to fare trying to get him out, but I hope that eventually you do succeed and get him out. Brightest Day says, I think Ukraine is being used as a sacrificial lamb for destroying bioweapon evidence, and Putin standing up as a purposeful scapegoat for everything else that's coming. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that you were talking before about what like people's reaction is going to be to this, and playing the 4D chess side of thing. That's what's really important to the situation, is the overall public's reaction. And I think that what we see going on in Russia is, or you know, from what I think is believably happening in Russia versus what they're telling us, is that you're going to see about half of the people who are, you know, active and paying attention are going to become more nationalized, and that they're going to become just fervent with whatever the country is wanting to do, and the other half of the people are going to push against it. But, you know, in other parts of the world, people don't have ways to defend themselves from a government. So Russia doesn't care about all these protests going on. They're arresting people holding up blank signs. And I think that's what, if we have an attack on the grid, that's what we're going to see over here is, you know, if they enact Directive 51 and they take full control, we're going to see the same thing of half the people who pay attention are going to just become more fervent, and they're just going to start believing, much like what happened when they were doing the lockdowns. There were enough people who just blindly supported that. And the other half of the people, much like, you know, people in this area, we're going to say, no, this is bullshit.
Yeah. And Tony brings up a good point with this as well. The EU and the USA have been looting Ukraine since 2008. We promised them the world while we fleeced the people and gave cheap gas to Europe. Zelensky is begging for the support he was promised. I understand that. But you also got to remember, okay, Ukraine is still a capital of global corruption. Okay, they're one of the top capitals of global corruption. You know,
I mean, weren't there like big reports about all the cyber attacks that were coming out of Ukraine at one point, and then they seriously just died down and they ceased to exist? Now, I mean, it's like anything else. It's like the shit you're talking about with Fauci and this nonsense.
Well, it goes
a lot
beyond
of people. well, a lot of people weren't paying attention, Drew, and this was maybe about, I don't know, month and a half ago. They were talking about, oh, there's another big variant down the road months from now that's going to be coming, and that's why they were pushing for people to get a 4th booster shot, which they turned around and told the public that the government doesn't have the money for the booster shot, but we got all kinds of money to send over to Ukraine. Yeah, Go figure that one out. I mean, for the people that sit there and really believe that this boost is going to do something for you, I guess you should get it anyway. But the government's telling you, I think that it's going to be coming out of your pocket now, and then every single one after that they're going to demand you get is also going to be coming out of your pocket. And Brightest Day also mentioned about the solar flare event. Drew, did you catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he saw a tweet about a coming solar flare. I remember them talking about that years ago too, and that's funny how that shit all lines up with everything that's going on that they're claiming is going to happen. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You got the floor again. I think I'm done rambling.
We'll just give you another 25 boosters. No big deal.
You're at this point you're paying them money to inject you with poison, but if that's what you want to do, I mean, the same people from 2016 to 2020, or when hey man took office, that were the resistance and that were calling us bootlickers, are now unable to speak and only tweet because the boot is all the way into their stomach. It's so far down their throats. And the funny thing is they still act like they're the resistance. It's like, what exactly are you resisting against? You're pushing all your shit on us. If anything, this one instance where the roles have actually changed, unlike, how they claim the Democrat and Republican Party changed place in the middle of the night, all of a sudden the Democrats were the ones that were the good guys regardless. But it's complete. Their hypocrisy has been on display for the last 2 years, for 2 full years. And if you don't believe it by now, if you're still with your head in the sand like the proverbial ostrich, then there's really nothing we can do for you, because the truth is out there. It's all in plain sight. They're too stupid to shield their cards anymore. They're the kid at the table going help and laying their hand out because they don't care. They're lazy and they don't care. They still use a little sleight of hand and subterfuge here and there when it's possible. But when you have so many people scrutinizing what is going on, they can't silence us all. They can't. It's impossible.
I'll tell you what, ETEP, I think you did miss one thing. You said that, what are they resisting against? They're resisting against something most indubitably, my friend. Yes, common sense.
Common sense. I knew you were logic, right there with me. Logic, reasoning, cognitive abilities, and rational, critical thinking. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Without double standards, they have no standards.
No,
but there are people changing their minds. I went to the Chrissy Mayer show this weekend, and I met a dude after we were doing like a meetup with her, and Drunk 3PO was there. And after all of that, I was talking to this dude Elliot, who I don't know if he's watching right now. He followed on Twitter. I told him to check this stuff out, but he's actually changed his mind on all this stuff over the past 2 years. And he used to be full on he would pay attention to whatever the government told him, and he'd follow all along. And now he's the one coming to his friends, and he's in college in DC. He's coming to his friends right now and telling them, like, no, you're falling for the tricks. You can't do this. You gotta, don't put all your money into this shit. Try and diversify it. Don't just automatically go taking a shot because they tell you it's good. Pay attention to what's actually in it. Wait till you get some information. And they're telling him that, he's crazy and everything. But little by little, even some of his friends are changing onto that too.
Well, what's funny about that, Stephen, is I just caught a show on, what the hell was it? It came up in a news feed, and it was MSNBC, which normally I won't watch that trash to begin with, but they were talking about suppression of freedom of speech. And one of the people that they had on there was this guy who was talking about how freedom of speech is being suppressed in all these colleges, and a lot of these students are scared to death to speak out or even just speak up what their opinion really is, because they're going to get canceled, they're going to be shamed, they're going to be literally attacked on campuses now.
Yeah.
And it leads right into that. So even if they don't believe it, they're afraid to say anything to their friends because they're afraid of the repercussions that may happen because of their woke attitudes.
Yep. Look at the Yale Law School. That free speech event that just happened there. The students were standing up, and the speaker told them, you're acting like children, and they were all, and this is how when you're they're booing and sounding aghast, and it's like when you react like that to being told you're acting juvenile or childish, you're acting juvenile or childish when you're an adult, and that's your response is that's something my 6-year-old wouldn't even do that. He would.
One of the Daily Wire guys.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah. Yep. Anytime the Daily Wire guys are going out there, or anytime Jordan Peterson, they lose their freaking minds. Jordan
Yeah, it
Peterson
used to
is
be-
moderate. I mean, he's just like, it's Kermit the
Yeah.
Frog doing politics.
It used to be people would go to a talk like that and want to hear an opposing viewpoint or some kind of like critical thinking, and be able to take something away from that so that they had just a little more knowledge, or it improved their discernment about certain things or their outlook. Now these people just go because they're so caught up in this tribalistic bullshit, where they go and they just they heckle and they're stupid and they don't even pay attention to you can make the most coherent point or great thought, and these people don't care. They'll just sit there and be idiots. And again, we're talking about the corporate media corrupted lemmings and the radicalized lemmings that have been in these classes with radical professors and everything else. So yeah, it's a clown show at most of these universities now.
Well, that's also where they learn a lot of this stuff, because you look at de Blasio's daughter, and that's how she turned out that way. She was normal beforehand, and then she gets out in her picture. She's got she doesn't look out her eyes right anymore.
No. Lasso Truth said there is no good guy in this conflict. Talking about Russia, Ukraine.
No.
Actually, Russia used to get along really well with Britain until they tried to poison somebody with Novichok right in the middle of Salisbury, UK. I remember that. Cat Killer says Ukraine is trying to pull the whole world into a war. Yeah, I mean, they are trying to use that as the catalyst to pull people into the war, into a war. Yeah, absolutely.
Democrats in Congress are now warmongering to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Trump was going to bring about that war at any moment. We got to get him out of here.
Still blame. Are they still blaming Blump for everything?
Weren't the same idiots that made sure that we pulled out of Afghanistan because it's an unnecessary war and America doesn't need to be involved in any wars. Okay, then what are we doing now?
And that pullout was
Thank you.
Prom night. God.
And let's see. Tony Tone Deaf's in the house. What's up, buddy? Great to see you. We have of course Janet from Another Planet and Godzillionaire. Man, I've been waiting to highlight this comment because he's got a good question here. Anybody want to tackle that one?
I'm still not convinced that the whole thing isn't about bringing down the Bidens in one way or another.
I'm sorry, I don't have a girl with a nice looking ass right here or a bunch of blow to put on it to actually properly tackle that question.
Yeah, I'm not 12, a female, and related to him, so he's not interested in what I have to say.
Hunter, I saw Tony sent me a video. I think Salty Cracker did it today. Something about him and a positive test for HIV.
Yep.
Hey,
that he was sending to his brother's widow, telling her go get tested.
Q Frolic did. God, and no, that they're admitting they're finally admitting, the laptop thing was real. It wasn't just, Trump making up stuff. It wasn't Russian propaganda. It's Russian propaganda. The laptop was
has all the hallmarks of Russian propaganda.
The fact that it's true. I mean, everything that they say Russian propaganda is true.
Yeah. Well, they were also smart about it because what they did is they added the qualifier of it has the hallmarks of Russian propaganda. So now they can fall back on that and say like, oh, well, it just appeared to be, we weren't saying it was verified at the time. We just said it 800,000 times until people had the axiom in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Brightest Day is saying, didn't the FBI accidentally destroy the laptop? I thought they just lost it.
No, intact in all its glory, apparently.
They went out in office space to.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't originally the FBI said that they lost it, like they couldn't figure out what they did with it or something? I know there was at one point that they said they didn't know where it was or something to that nature.
I think Giuliani still has it. They said they never wanted it. When
Didn't
they
they
went in
take
and raided everything from Giuliani, they
Yeah.
left the laptop because they said, we have no interest in that. And it was
That's
like
shocking.
the day after Giuliani was on Crowder. Giuliani brought the laptop onto Crowder. The following day, or like 2 days later, the FBI raided and left the laptop. And he sat there and said, don't you want that? Don't you want that? They're like, no, that's not what we're interested in. That has nothing to do with Trump.
Wait, hit Marby Dog's comment at 7:33, and we can play Frolic again because it's.
About Saki?
Yeah, Jen Psaki has COVID again, double vaxxed and boosted.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get your boosters, get them. Make sure you get your boosters. Be first in line.
Do vaxes work on the Solus?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's again, it's clown show type shit. Medic says, "What evidence do you have?" I told you that is the evidence. This is just this whole thing is absolute. I mean, you can just see the engineered moves because they're poorly veiled. A lot of the stuff is just poorly veiled, and you can see right through it. Unfortunately, you have to be a free thinker and have an open mind, and you can see it very clearly. But the part about modern society, and we all, every single one of us that are here, we know. I mean, just read your Twitter feed in a day, and you'll see the absolute amount of people that are devoid of any discernment, or really they're just devoid of brain cells, period. Some of the idiotic shit that they put out, but it's like, I mean, you gotta have like hot steaming turd bad takes to be on the level of just some of the stuff that you read out there, because it's just so mind-blowingly idiotic. Like, how can you even how can you just ignore what's in front of your nose? But these people, unfortunately, are so radicalized and whipped up into a frenzy that they can't see, what's going on in front of their nose.
Yeah, well, you're also talking about people that being led around by a couple of morons that can't coherently sentence together more than a few words at a time, or else they get confused. I mean, did you see the last one from Kamala? Oh boy, that was a good one. I thought she was doing stand-up. It was so funny,
dude. There were people actually. There was some news pieces that said, is she microdosing psychedelics or some shit? Because that was like very bizarre.
No, I think she's using that trick from when we were all taught in high school or college about how to give a speech, where in a debate, when somebody asks a question, to buy yourself time, you repeat the question. But she just keeps repeating the question over and over and over and never gets to an answer. She just keeps saying, well, time is significant. Significance is time. A day is a lot of time that is significant to a 10-year-old.
That was too coherent, Brahma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tina said FBI has a laptop now after it was named as part of tax evasion charges. Okay. No.
Whose tax evasion charges?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The government's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who works there?
Yeah, there's a great clip, by the way, floating out there of Russell Brand, and and I think I actually retweeted this one the other day too. This is a good one. Far
right wing Russell Brand.
Yeah. But this I think this analysis that he has, I mean, it's just it's just spot on, and he's 100% right here. Let's take a look at
many
this.
times. I'm beginning to think I'm right about this. The mainstream media is not your friend. The culture is not your friend. The government is not your friend. Big business is not your friend. They are operating collegiately in unison to create a set of systems that are beneficial to them and disadvantage you. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah,
I've been
see?
wrong many
So
times.
he's right.
I'm
He's
beginning
right
to
on
think
it.
I'm right.
He's over the target.
But you know,
And,
Russell Brand kind of has Bill Maher syndrome, to where like he's right about this stuff, but he's like 2, 3, even 10 years late on some of it. It's like, I'm glad you're coming to realization, buddy, but way behind the curve.
Well,
I'm not going to praise him as some conservative, but I'll take it. I mean,
So ultimately, they wind up looking like those people that go to Hot Topic to buy the shit on the rack that's been discounted when that fat is already out, and then wearing it through the mall like they're hip.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give Russell Brand credit. You know, the guy is a thinker. And he does pay attention, and that's good. You know, and I'll take that all day. You know, over Bill Maher. I mean, you know, Bill Maher, I think, is just going where the wind blows. I mean, Russell Brand actually, you know, has taken time out to, you know, back a lot of his statements with facts, and he's really looking into it. So I respect what he has to say.
and the Time Prophet in chat is saying Russell Brand, who's a multimillionaire. In that same video, he does address that. He said, I'm going to be fine. I am well off. I'm not great well off, but it's not going to be me that's going to get screwed at.
I mean, I'll like with the Russell Brand Bill Maher thing, I'll watch Russell Brand. I don't watch Bill Maher.
Yeah. I'll watch clips of Bill Maher. I'll watch Russell Brand's video.
The last time I watched anything with Bill Maher was Avocado Women in the Jungle, in Amazon Jungle of Death. You remember that movie? That was the last time I watched Bill Maher in anything. You ever seen that movie? It's like Amazon Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. It's like a science fiction comedy kind of movie from like the 80s. Bill Maher's like the lead in it. He's supposed to be like the oh yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. And of course he's like his sniveling little self in it, you know.
Yeah, the last thing I seen with him was DC Cab.
Yeah, I remember DC Cab, dude. That's a kind of a classic. You know.
All right, it's Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. And
Yeah.
I might be watching that later.
It's actually really funny, dude. It is. You just get high and turn your brain off, and it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a Sleepaway poster back here. I'm down for some low grade horror comedy.
To go with the statement earlier about Psaki, here you go. From Breitbart, Jen Psaki tests positive for coronavirus again over 4 months after first infection. You know, it's funny right here, this statement in the article. The press secretary is fully vaccinated and has had her booster shots. Has she had her fucking rabies shots? You know, I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Stop worrying about it, Drew. Stop worrying about it. Trust the science.
We'll circle back to the rabies shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She and that picture right there is actually the day she announced, you know, something positive too. I mean, look at her. She's so happy.
Oh, she's beaming.
That is like that. There is not an ounce of joy in that woman. Like, I mean, she is a miserable human being.
Come on, that's the first time she's gotten to use the word positive in any of her speeches.
She's pretty.
Everything else has been negative.
She's pretty joyful when she's rocking, you know, the hat with the Russian star on it.
Did you see? Did I send that to you? Did I send the Mount Rushmore meme with her and Biden and George Floyd on it? And
it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, folks, I don't know if you know what people's gas prices are looking like right now, but I can tell you this currently. And this is the gas station around the corner from my house. $4.39 over at the Shell station around the corner. Just giving the update on that one. So I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but that's the current update, what we're dealing with here in my particular little town in Ohio.
Climbing the fort.
It's we were up to 440 about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and it's at about 409 now. So it's like they jacked it way up and then brought it down a little bit, and they're like, look, see, the gas prices aren't that bad. Meanwhile, I'm filling up my pickup going, yeah, with a 35-gallon tank, this ain't fun, you know.
Well, I mean, that's like down here in Florida. Usually it's like relatively cheap. I mean, I just had to get gas today because the missus, thank you very much, left the damn car empty when she knew I had to take the guinea pigs out to the vet, which were over 40 minutes away. But yeah, $4.29 a gallon.
Yep.
So what you're saying is she pulled a woman?
Yeah.
Yep.
And she just got a raise too. Oh.
Yeah, eats up talking about Bill Maher. This year, we'll just read the headline real quick. Bill Maher says Democrats are causing exodus from California. There are too many people with their hand out. Yeah, you think? I mean,
Yeah, those people are the government, though, is the problem. That's who's got their freaking hand out, scaring everybody away.
And it's in our pockets.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of welfare, a lot of illegals, but the government is who's getting rid of everybody because they want to take 55 to 70% of your income there.
Yeah, that a lot of the reason you have so much homeless and a lot of welfare recipients there is because they tax people out of just being able to live.
Oh God, this is a great one. By the way, talking about geopolitical stuff, guys. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, second in command, United Socialist Party of Venezuela leader Diosdado Cabello, mused on Monday that his country could engage in a Ukraine-style invasion of Colombia to decocainize the country.
Russia's having a hard enough time with Ukraine. Venezuela's going to have an even worse
can we
time
just let
going
them duke
against
it
a
out?
country run by the
Not
fucking
do
cartel.
anything, please. Can we just let them duke it out? There'll be a haze over there. It'll be just a bunch of white powder.
I mean, you think the
They're just
cartels
a
are
little
just
bit-
going to roll over and take that? They're going to decimate their fucking. They've got a tiny ass military. They work off the perception of strength, not real strength.
Mm-hmm.
They're just grumpy
Yeah.
because they're not getting their Ukrainian mail order brides anymore.
Yeah. And that's what I was hoping, man. I wanted to do my part to help liberate Ukrainian refugees.
I'll take 3 women between the ages of 21 and 30.
Yeah.
Yep.
They can stay here, no problem.
Ones that show up as bots on YouTube.
Again, Drew's been talking about everything shifting all day. Now we know why.
Oh man, it's that's funny though. I love that meme. It has all the hot chicks saying, "Help you, Ukrainian refugees." Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's just everything that you see going on right now is 100% engineered. So much of this is theater, and it goes back to what I said earlier about discernment, you guys, because you have to have that now, because it takes a savvy to kind of navigate all this shit, because there is misinformation out there, but the misinformation is what's being portrayed to you by the state media, which is the quote corporate media. So, don't buy it. Just do your own research, because that's how you fight back against all of this, by asking the right questions, by doing your own research. So Maria says, here in South America, we seriously thought it would be all over when Chavez died. Yeah.
when you first put that article up, Drew, I got really happy because I thought it said that they were ready to do a Ukrainian-style invasion on Colombia. I thought I just glanced at it. I thought it said District of Columbia, and I started like, yes!
Small Time Republic says, those poor people have been bombarded by enough huge weapons, Drew. Nice thing.
Yeah, don't go over there and free the beast, Drew.
Yeah, well, luckily, Brady State got on board with Drew and a lot of this. So there's actually launch codes now for his projectiles. So he's got to get permission.
You hear Drew yell at him, "Turn your key!" Zach's like, "No, Drew, turn your key, Zach."
If anybody uses the keyword 69 for 69, launch is incoming.
You see the silos like they're coming out of the ground like in Terminator. Here comes Drew.
Oh man, you guys are nuts. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
like those plasma attacks from Starship Troopers.
Oh god,
I just watched that with my kid. I was like, you need to see this movie.
Oh no, Brady stays on standby in the chat. He's waiting confirmation.
Look at him.
Oh,
he says, "What the fuck, guys?"
Oh man. Let me see what else we got. It looks like there was one clip that I saw the other day, and I couldn't find it on Twitter for the life of me, but it was Aaron Lewis at one of his concerts made a great statement about just what's going on. And he's like, if you don't understand what's going on now, you probably never will. And you know, he's right about that.
And he's like, wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
Yeah.
Fred Durst to sing backup vocals.
Then here's a good clown show article in
Aquaman. It's Aquaman, everybody.
An NBC op-ed compares transgender swimmer Leah Thomas to Jackie Robinson.
Where's all the black activists now to tear this down, because you just compare, and I'm talking, not even, I shouldn't even say it that way, but it's a joke, because every time, like when that was it Jane Campion compared herself to the Williams sisters, everybody went ballistic on her and she was a racist. So honestly, this is ridiculous. Jackie Robinson, Jesus, dude, the man is an actual legend. I mean, broke the barriers. This mentally ill, what's his name, Will Thomas or whatever his name, might as well be Will Wheaton. This Fruit Loop transformer, and I'll say it, you're mentally ill. Dude,
shut up, Wesley.
This dude, okay, and I'm calling him a dude because
he is a dude.
You know, he straight up was like, "Oh, I suck in men's swimming.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna dip over here, and just say I'm a chick, and then I can rock it out." And
speaking of rocking out, Drew, apparently a lot of the girls in the locker room with it were complaining to the coach about it hanging out, and it completely got ignored by the mainstream media as usual.
Yeah. No, they were called transphobic. They were like, "Oh, you're going to complain about seeing this obvious woman's giant fucking dong? I mean, dude's 6'4". He's got to be hanging something there."
Yeah.
I mean, this is the problem that we're facing, because people don't want to face reality.
Are they trying to say that you can choose to be black now?
Yeah.
Well, Sean King did.
Yeah, he did.
Talcum X, and
He's
people
made a career of that.
And black people are like, yeah, he's black. I'm like, no, he is. I'm blacker than Sean King. Come
What was
on.
the other one? Rachel
German immigrant-
Dolezal.
Rachel.
Yeah, Dolezal.
She's like-
with her-
God,
with
Rachel
her-
Dolezal.
She's like, what is she like? She's like Nordic. Like you seen
Yeah.
her pictures. Like she's like a Swede or something like that. I'm like, Spinderbundeburski, what? Like what?
Yeah.
What? You know?
Yeah, Maria's right. By the way, that one swimmer spoke up.
Oh, yeah,
and
Rika.
she got
The-
suspended from Twitter.
The one girl's
did?
parents did. They interviewed him and they gave probably the perfect interview about that. And they were very eloquent about it. They did not say one disparaging word. They were like, look, we support, his right to, live his life, but at the same time, it's not fair to the girls and our daughter, who is a Division I swimmer, who work their entire lives. I saw the interview with the girl. She was, and it's not like she was being insulting like me. I wouldn't be able to hold my tongue. I'd come right.
Well,
It'd be like a wrestling
on
promo, basically.
On top of that, ETEP, she was in tears almost the entire time she was giving that damn statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at
And
the same
the
time, in that statement, she screwed up by saying she over and over and over.
Yep.
Which automatically validates the position they're
Yep.
trying to take. Did you
Yeah,
see
you
what
can't-
DeSantis did today about this?
Mm-mm.
DeSantis basically made a proclamation in Florida because the second place swimmer was from Florida and said, nope,
Okay.
we're making a proclamation that she is the national champion in Florida. So
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm telling
This
you,
is
you know
gonna-
what every one of those girls need to do, and they don't even have to give interviews. Like every time that they see a camera anywhere near them when they're talking about their swimming competitions, they just need to go by the camera and just yell, "Frickin' Baines! Frickin' Baines!" And sooner or later, somebody's going to get the hint.
Or just not swim.
How'd you
this
get the
has been
beans
a-
above the Frank?
It takes a real man. It takes a real man to win at a woman's sport.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And it takes a bleeder to lose.
Yeah, and Trina's right. The women in those sports are the ones that need to speak up. Yeah, and that's
Yep.
exactly right. Because there needs to be more pushback because and I go back to just all of our different likes and interests and hobbies being invaded by these goons, by the trans goons. I mean, I don't like the
Yep.
goonery. And these people, it's like that meme, ETEP, that shows what the cycle of how they infiltrate these things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
just ridiculous.
and Steven said it right. That's or Brahma said it right. When she validated her as you called her she. It's a man. Call him him, he, William, whatever his name is. Call him by his name. That is who you cannot change. I got into it big time with on Twitter last week with this. Like I was working on a video and it took a 4-hour detour of me going down the rabbit hole on Twitter and fighting with these people. And I got kicked off Facebook again because somebody called me a bigot for something and they were a transformer and I hit them with a couple memes and next thing you know, another 30 days in the gulag on Facebook for it. But I'm like, I appealed it, and in my appeal, all I wrote was, tell me where I'm wrong. If you people believe in following the science, then you'll follow the gender science that says you cannot switch chromosomes. No matter how much mental illness people want to placate in modern society, you cannot switch fucking chromosomes. That does not work. That does not happen. And I say this as somebody with 2 transgender cousins who I refuse to acknowledge them. I will not. I will not call my cousin Caitlin Nathan. Bitch, you can get jacked up on hormones all you want and grow a beard. You're not a man. You got nothing swinging. You're not a man. You were born a woman. You will always be a woman. Her and her girl, like I said, her and her girlfriend are both transformers, and I'm like, you bitches are lesbians with extra steps. You're just doing this for social. You're doing it for social clout is the problem. That's what it is. It's become a social. It's social currency now. Because they're up there in the victim hierarchy. So they can claim that top spot now, and that's the sick part of it. And these people are like, yeah, slay queen, and you've got a guy that's my size going, I'm a woman. No, dude, bro, you're not.
It's fad culture, man.
It's sick. It's sick,
and that's part of the problem.
I think I saw that video, ETEP. Was that the one when you used to work at GameStop?
Yes, I was like, bitch, I'll come over that guy. It is ma'am.
It is ma'am.
I do.
Oh, I was going to say this has been a big problem in sports for a while too. Like you remember there was the Connecticut Racers a few 3-4 years ago that was a high school racing, and the one thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is a lot of people like 6th place in certain races still get scholarships. So this man came in who was probably, I mean, he probably wasn't getting a scholarship before when he was swimming as a man because he was like 463rd, comes in and now he's number 1 in his division, and he's taking a scholarship from another girl who's been working her ass off for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, guys, I need to step away for a second. Etep, you have the con.
Oh, okay.
So-
I can
So
hang
it's
out
been
for a
like
couple
30
minutes.
years of us trying to get rid of steroids in sports. And now they're like, no, if it's a woman's sport and you're a dude, we want all the steroids, anything you can inject into yourself to give yourself an enhancement. We're
Yep.
going to do that. And
You
we're
know,
going to call it a weakening or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
go ahead and get all jacked up on testosterone, you know, but you know, we're fine with that as long as you're a man pretending to be a woman, you know. And this is for those of you out there who are wrestling fans, you know, you guys, I worked in the indies for 10 years. I worked shows with Brandon that became Nyla Rose on AEW. And yeah, I had to acknowledge that and be nice because I was in woke wrestling locker rooms before woke wrestling locker rooms were a thing. And I had to keep quiet about my views because, you know, that thing, yeah, that made me sick when I would, he'd come walking in and I was like, you know, the only reason, and the dude was a mediocre male, like professional wrestler. And so he's like, well, screw it. I'm going to get implants and become Nyla Rose now. And yeah, and now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, oh my God, if you don't support this on AEW, you're such a bigot. I'm like, no, I hate to see the sport that I love and I was a part of for a decade get bastardized by some assholes who you know, yeah.
I wonder what Sting's take on that is. Back, you know, in
I don't-
the locker room.
Yeah.
Sting's
well,
a pretty hardcore professed Christian. So
I'm sure he plays it very cool in order to maintain, you know, his spot. I mean, Sting could pretty much say anything he wants in this. And just Steve Borden can say whatever he wants and walk away and say, my career, I've done everything that I wanted to do, you know. This whole trans and wrestling thing though, it really does it because the women have a tough enough time in that business as it is, because there's so many that are just straight up ring rats, you know, and that's all they are, and they ruin it for the ones who are actual athletes. And you have people like Brandon come in and like, you have to call me in. He would always, we were down in Saginaw, Michigan working these shows, and he's wrestling this gorgeous little like Mexican chick, and I'm just like, oh God, this is disgusting to watch. I mean, I was like, I didn't think we did intergender matches here, but all right. And that, guys, speaking of wrestling, I do have to jet.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually ETEP. I think that we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show because you know, and I apologize, folks. I know that usually we go a little longer. We usually go to about 8:30, but
Drew, you don't need to apologize, man. It's your show. If you decide it's time to cut it because it's time to cut it, then do it.
Yeah,
everybody in the chat understands, or they wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I have some things I gotta get done. I have some people yet to call on behalf of my mom and everything else.
You also got to confirm what brightest data launch codes.
Yeah, that too. So thanks for everybody coming out and supporting this episode of United Resistance. Don't forget, next week, folks, we got a great guest. We've got the awesome Jasmine St. Clair that's going to be on with us. That's going to be a killer show. The ETEP and I are both looking forward to that one. You know, because I
guess you're both going to be prepping all week. A lot of hand-eye coordination stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have post-nut clarity by the time the show starts. We'll be good.
But no, she's an awesome conservative these days, and you know, she knows her stuff. So that's going to be awesome. Thank you so much, chat. I love you guys. I will see you next week. You know, please support all these gentlemen and their fine channels, Free Speech Gaming. Support ETEP. Support Tony Clown World Reviews as they go over and do their wrestling show. Obviously, check out Tommy for, you know, Collectible Past. on you still doing it on Mondays, correct, Tommy?
Collectible Pass is Thursdays.
Thursdays?
Going old
Okay.
school is Monday.
Okay. All right. So going old school Mondays, collectible pass on Thursdays. And of course, check out Brahma Bull's videos, man. He's putting out great stuff right now. And all of the people on the panel are on fire at the moment with good content. So please, check them out. And thank you again for, shout out to Brightest Day. Thanks, buddy, for it's such a generous, just donation. I didn't expect that. It just I'm overwhelmed just by all the support from the community. I love you all. Take
How
care
many
of
watch hours
yourselves.
do we need?
Let's
Get this done.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have my personal YouTube pulled up, so I don't know, but
Are we under
yeah,
the 200 mark now, we think, or
yeah, something around there. So just if you can pull up a playlist on my channel, folks, if I could get hit that monetization goal, that would be awesome.
help Drew out?
I love you guys. I will keep everybody in the loop what's going on with Mom, and I'm just, the next couple days is going to be tough. So thank you.
It's never going to be easy, Drew, and you're never going to really be able to plan for it. So, I mean, just keep your head up and do what you got to do. One last thing real quick. ETEP, didn't you just add something recently to your channel?
Yeah, we have channel memberships open. We have 13 channel members. Thank you to Vassy Reviews, my girl. She just joined, and 24 Eyes Owls Outcast Live just joined as well. We got some. There's a couple member streams up. There's a couple members videos up. I did one on a shooting at a Burger King drive-thru in Florida. It looked like Beetlejuice. Go check out the video if you're a member. If not, become a member. It's only $2.99 a month, and I'm ordering the kazoos and getting the decals made for when you become an ETEP Kazooian. I'm going to mail you a freaking kazoo with our logo on it, so you can play the Marvel Mondays theme at home while you're watching us at 8:35 every Monday night.
Awesome. All right, folks. On that note, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love you guys, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.
Nibble on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm ETEP Wakuyan of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.
Hey, we're still here. Haha. Bye.